Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Are we live?
Oh, what's up? What's up? Philly Uncensored Sports Podcast in the building. I mean, I don't got my usual setup, so I apologize. My sound my situation. Pause. But what's going on? Sixers coming off the All-Star break. It's good. It's a lot to talk about. Jam-packed show. Jam-packed show. It's a lot to talk about today, too. Why you staring like that? Like you all right? You good?
No,
You
you
sleepy,
wasn't.
dog?
In the beginning, you was pausing like you was. I couldn't really hear you. I couldn't
My
hear you in the
signal was
beginning.
acting janky.
Yeah.
Oh, my signal was acting a little janky.
Yeah.
Oh man, I'm in the back room, kind of furthest from the router, so I apologize if my joint acted a little suspect. I see Ethan in the comment section. How am I joint now? Is it good now, Tim? Am I
Yeah. You
straight?
can hear. Yeah.
All right, all right. Six is coming off a disappointing loss. Obviously, we ain't at full force. We don't got the big fella. Who knows how long that's going to be? But we do got a new addition in Kyle Lowry, who actually played pretty good tonight. Kyle Lowry, I mean, they tried to, knock him. They tried to end his career with an elbow to the head, but I give him
Yeah.
credit. He came back, put some a Band-Aid on it. Maybe had to get some stitches or something. I don't know, because the elbow he did come down full force with the elbow on Kyle Lowry's forehead. But he got back at it, came back in the game. We made a ferocious almost comeback in the third quarter, led by Tyrese Maxey. I think he said he had like 18 or something in the third quarter.
Yeah.
He went off.
He gave his all. He gave his
Yeah,
all.
he did. He ended with 35, but at the end of the day, it was too many threes by the Knicks. In particular, the ball they picked up at the trade deadline. Remember, we thought it was the other Bogdanovich, but it happened to be the other Bogdanovich. And this ball was 6 for 6 from three. He couldn't miss.
Yeah.
This ball was on fire. That truth be told, that was probably the end all bill. You think that's 18 points right there.
Yeah.
So that may have been the deciding factor. They got a nice team. Brunson played okay. I mean, he had Bogdanovich was the leading scorer off the bench, mind you, with 22. Brunson only had 21. He went to the free throw line 11 times.
But
He shot. He was actually off. He was 5 for 18 from
how many assists he had?
the
He had like double-digit assists too, right?
he had 12 assists. He dropped 12 dimes.
Yeah.
But I mean, he didn't shoot that well. DiVincenzo shot decent. He was 4 for 11. Trey Burks, OX60, he was 2 for 4, didn't shoot bad. And then Bogdanovich was 6 for 6. That really would kill this. So MOTC says, yeah, our defense is somebody said, I don't know, the comments are going by fast. Saying that's Charlie M. Our defense is atrocious. Yeah, I mean, Uber is playing the best defense out there by far. I mean, that's why some of us was a little bit perturbed, if you will, by the trade in the Bulls who did give you defense like Pat Bev and the Bull Springer and all that. I mean, so we knew going in you was going to miss some of that. We swapped some offense for defense, and hopefully we get Joel Embiid back, because when you got Joel Embiid in the middle, everybody look good defensively. Because you try to bring that stuff in the paint, he going to beat it up. He going to get it out of there. So Wayne Toby, go ahead, Tim. I ain't going to take up all the air in the room. Go ahead, you speak on it, because it is some stuff I know you want to speak on, so go ahead, help yourself. Because Wayne, ironically enough, after Toby came up lame, Wayne is a no-show. I'm kind of remember how when Jalen would ball out, Wayne wouldn't show up. Now when Toby's thinking of him, he'll show up. Coincidence? Yeah. I think not.
Not at all. Ahead, all right, here's what I'll say. Tobias Harris, that position is so crucial for us to win. Not just because when he plays well in that position, we win most of the time. He looks good. Like before the All-Star break, when it was a potential of him being traded, man, he was looking like an all-star. He looked like he was like 2 years ago when he played well. He was dominant. I was like, okay, maybe we shouldn't trade Tobias. Maybe we should keep him here. Maybe he's that key factor.
Maybe it was just a bad game. Maybe it was just a bad game. Can we say that?
Since the trade deadline, since it passed, Tobias went right back to being Tobias. But man, like we had that big old contract that we could have traded for, and we didn't, because everybody was like, we really don't want to give it to Tobias. because he was playing that well.
So he played
And
his
then,
heart out so he wouldn't get traded. That's what you.
yeah, that's exactly what he did. He played his heart. he gapped us all up.
Okay. Yo, shout out. Let's give a shout out to the super chat real fast before we go off my screen.
Oh,
Tim,
yeah.
post it on the board. You know how to do it. Do your trickery. Bernard McCoy good looking out. He said, I guess Brunson is MJ now. We have to let him score 50 and shut down the others. Second chance and rebounder are going to kill this team without B. That's facts. This, especially the rebounding in the second chance. Like that's always a killer in any game, any situation. If you let a team get more shots on the basket than you, more than likely in the NBA, you're going to lose. More than likely. And that's what happened. You got a lot of second chance rebounds. A lot of times it looked like we should have got some second chance rebounds that we didn't get. Stuff like that hurt. They're coming down that stretch when you start making that comeback. We missed some shots. That Oubre had 3 shots. He had a 3-pointer brick. Yeah. Then we got the offensive rebound. He came in, laid it up, missed that, got the tip, missed that. I said, yo, my guy, what's going on? That was huge. I think, I don't know. I mean, I think that would have put us down by like 6. I think it was 8 at that point. That might have put us down by 6 or 4 or something.
I think it would have got us to 4.
Yeah.
I mean, he was incredible. Like, and here the thing was that point guard that I said we needed, the one that I was calling for, Kyle Lowry, for the last 3 or 4 years.
You said Zach LaVine. What you said, Zach LaVine for a long time now? I mean,
Zach LaVine was supposed
correct me if I'm wrong.
The Tobias Harris spot had to be filled by Zach LaVine, but I always said we needed.
No, you were saying Zach LaVine and Max was going to be in the backcourt. I was the one saying that we needed Brogdon or somebody like that to go in the backcourt with Maxey. I mean, maybe I'm crazy. Maybe I'm tripping.
You are. Yes, you are, because I know what I said.
Okay. Now I'm tripping. When I know I said I wanted a point guard, you brought up Brogdon. We had this conversation over the polo chat. You brought up Brogdon. I said, yeah, me and my father-in-law was talking about Brogdon because I know you get a nice point guard in here. And I've been said since the way back in the Atlanta series, Maxey is more of a shooting guard. I think we will be better suited with a textbook point guard to go along with Maxey. That's what I said. That you trying to come up off of my point.
And you saw the results tonight with Kyle Lowry. Like Kyle Lowry, he's a veteran point guard. He's older. Because I was trying to get him 3-4 years ago when he had a chance to come here, but he chose Miami. But I've been trying to get Lowry. But you saw just even 3-4 years older, he still was able to do things on the court for us, like just the savviness, the driving to the lane, then kicking out or driving to the lane and then getting somebody an easy bucket underneath the basket. I mean, I think he finished with – he didn't play a lot of minutes tonight either.
He played 25 minutes, 11 points, 5 assists, 4 rebounds. He shot 5 for 7, 71% field goal, and 1 for 2 from 3.
So what more do you need? And I mean, and the key is when we were making that comeback, because remember we was down 26 points in the second half, and then that third quarter, Tobias went to the bench, and we put in the bull KJ Martin. And we just let him just be young, athletic, and we just start chipping at that league. And for some reason, I think we could have made that comeback. But that series at the end by Kelly Oubre when he missed a wide open 3-pointer, and then he missed a bunny layup. I mean, I was like, yo, that might be.
He was ready because I think Buddy Hield just hit a 3. They came down, missed. And if he hit that other wide open 3, because Lowry came the previous possession, if I'm mistaken, Lowry came down and kicked it to Buddy Hield. He knocked the 3 down. And they missed it. We came down and Oubre had an opportunity for a wide open 3 and the 2. Both of them, either one of them should have went in. You ain't hit the 3, you should have got the put back in the joint. And like you said, the 3 I think would have put us maybe down, maybe within 3, and the 2-pointer would have put us within 4 or something like that. The game was definitely. It was there for the taking. I think that could have turned the tide of the game around. That series was huge. That possession.
And then they came down and they hit big wide open 3-pointers and everything. I mean,
I'm sorry. Go ahead. Somebody asked me a question. Slow Bias Harris. He said, "Who's better, Josh Hart or Tobias Harris?" I think Josh Hart all day long. I was actually about to come in there and talk about Josh Hart. I like his game. What did he end with? Josh Hart had. Let me see his numbers here. He had 18 points, 12 rebounds. 3 assists. He was 7 for 13, 53% from the field, 2 for 5 from 3. Who's Josh Hart in the year? Let me look at Josh Hart's stats on the year. Because I actually always liked Josh Hart.
Yeah.
You
All
know,
these Villanova boys, we could have had them
Villanova.
all on our squad.
I know.
That year that not Rick Brunson, I'm thinking about his dad, that Jalen Brunson came out. That's the same year Mikal Bridges came out. We literally could have had Mikal Bridges and Jalen Brunson on our team.
Josh Hart this year, he playing 29 minutes a game, 8 points, 7 rebounds, 3 assists. I don't know what he's shooting from the field and all that. I mean, I know he's more like he probably like third or fourth bull on the totem pole because you got who you got Randall who ain't played tonight. Brunson, what's up with him? Is he hurt or something?
Who's that?
Randall.
Oh yeah, Randall's been out for the last. He messed up his shoulder. He won't be back for another few weeks.
If I remember that.
And he said he's not even ruling out surgery at all. But and then you gotta look at that Nick Batum spot. He only played 18 minutes, but he giving us what's the boy I hated so much that was here last year. We traded over Harden, but Nick Batum. The boy we traded for.
Talking about PJ Tucker?
Yeah, he on the PJ Tucker vibe as far as
no. Nick Batum way better than PJ Tucker. Stop the cap.
He gave us nothing today.
I mean, you might have a game here or there, but PJ Tucker ain't give us nothing all year.
I'm not saying that these exactly like I'm saying there's a lot of games where Nick Batum finished with 0 points or 2 points and stuff like that. Look at his last 10 games. Nick Batum hasn't really been scoring. He just hasn't.
Stats because you like yelling out. You and Wayne like to yell out a lot of stuff that
Nick Batum. I'm looking. I just clicked on him. His last game, nothing. The game before that, 3. The game before that, nothing. Game before that, 10. Game before that, 5. He ain't doing nothing this year.
How many minutes he getting them games though? You talking about?
He's playing. He's kind of mimicking PJ Tucker.
Well, he ain't playing a minute.
He was hurt.
He been a whole bunch of do not plays and all that kind of stuff.
Well, we got to get more out of that position.
I gotta pull his game log for the year because you be throwing stuff out there real crazy. Like
we need to get more out of that position. We can't have him and Tobias like looking like trash.
Remember Tim? Remember Wayne said Tobias was over Collins. I mean, what? Collins ain't really doing nothing that much neither, though. No highlighting. What is Collins doing though? What's Collins? What's John Collins?
Yeah, you're right.
John Collins is averaging 14 points. Not bad. He's shooting 53%, giving you 8 rebounds, 1 assist.
I'll take 8 rebounds. We need rebounding.
We definitely need rebounding.
He's 6'9". You got a 6'9" and to be 7'2". I'm definitely taking that over Tobias Harris right now.
Tobias Harris giving you 6 rebounds, 17 points, 50% field goal, 6 rebounds. That's what Tobias.
I'll take John Collins.
And he had 7 points tonight.
I'll still take John Collins.
7 points. I'm talking Tobias. 7 points, 3 for 9 field goal. Yeah, I mean, Tobias. Listen. The fact of the matter is, we need Joel. This team is not complete. Joel opens up for everybody. He opens it up for Maxey. He opens it up for Tobias. He opens it up for Oubre. He opens it up for all these cats. Batum, all them boys. We need the big man back. So, regardless of what you say, like, I mean, ain't too many people that you could legitimately get that's going to be able to replace Joel when he's not playing. You know what I mean? That's going to pick up all that.
But the thing is, we're not saying that we're going to be a better team without Joel, but you got to remember last year with a worse team, we won more games than we lost when Joel didn't play. So to me,
we had Harden last year.
I thought y'all hated Harden. I thought Harden was trash.
I mean, Harden didn't show up when it was time to show up. That's what's irritating about Harden. Harden is a baller. Nobody could take away Harden's career as an NBA player, his skill level. He could shoot the 3, all that kind of stuff. I always hated how he tried to fish for the foul. But Harden could ball. He could pass. He was averaging like 12 assists a game at one point. All right.
He was.
You can't take that. You can't take that impact away. So you have Harden and Maxey. So now you left with Batum and Toby and Maxey. Like, that's a huge downgrade. Harden dropped 45 points in a playoff game to beat Boston. So I mean, the ball could definitely hoop. So I mean, I think that's kind of unfair to say that when B going last year versus this year, because you had legitimate, superstar, a player who had his own team and had success having his own team. Who could we have gotten now that could replace what B has done? Did we legitimately have a chance to get Zach LaVine? Like, I know we keep bringing his name up, but was that even really on the table?
The way things look with Morey, I don't know what he had on table, because to me, he had a lot of deals that he just chose not to go with. So I just don't know. He denies everything that's on there. I do know he tried to trade for LeBron James at the trade deadline.
And what happened?
LeBron said, "If you don't get out of my face."
That was interesting. We guys talk about the All-Star game. We guys talk about it. A lot happened over the weekend. I don't know. I mean, we're gonna have time to dissect this team without Joel Embiid as the time goes on with Lowry in there. I actually do like the Lowry pickup. He got some dog in him. He showed some dog. I can't be mad at what he did. I just still think he like Chris Paul. Like, he gonna give you games where he come in high energy and all that, but he an older player. He gonna get ran around. He's not that fast on defense no more. He crafty, so he could get his hands in there and all that kind of stuff like that. But he don't got the foot speed to keep over a lot of these young boys and all that. So it's kind of a give and take when you talk about a boy like Lowry. You know what I mean? So he's a good floor general. He can pass and all that kind of stuff like that. But like I said, he like a Chris Paul. In times he could be a defensive liability as well. So I do agree with that, X-Man. He said Ricky Council can use those minutes. Tobias. At this point, Tobias is irritating because all right, we're going to say this about Tobias. Watch tomorrow. We play tomorrow, right? Cleveland. Watch Tobias come out and have like 25. Watch Tobias.
Tobias, if you've been watching Tobias never plays well on the back-to-back. His legs
going to have Tobias don't have back-to-back bad games for the most part.
He do. Yeah, he do.
Watch, look at the stats. Look at Tobias' stats for the year.
He had a bad career.
Tobias Harris stats. Look, every time he had 28, 26, 28, then he ain't play. 17, then he had 13. After the 13, he came out and had 21. Then he had 11 for the All-Star break. And then he missed them 2 games. Then he came back. Okay, he had 11. He had 11 and 7, but that wasn't back to back. He missed a couple games, so that don't really count. Tobias coming out with 25. I'm telling you right now, Tobias got 25.
Harris, he killed the whole comeback thing that we was doing in the third quarter. He killed it. So when he got in there, remember they gave him a layup under. And they were trying to make excuses. Well, he didn't know the ball was coming. I'm like, you're a basketball player. They setting you up for layups. That's another thing our team. We play a lot of one-on-one, and I don't know why we do this, but we oftentimes throughout the game we start playing one-on-one and start moving the ball. If you notice the Knicks was smooth with their rotation. Everybody was getting a wide open 3-point shots, so they always swinging that ball. That's another thing that we need to. I don't understand his offense.
I mean, it looked like we got the ball moving. The offense don't look stagnant to me. It's just Joel Embiid gives you a go-to shot. Like, Maxey try and all that. A couple times Maxey, I think, should have pulled up for a minute. Like, sometimes Maxey, I think, drive himself into getting a shot block. I'm telling you, Maxey going to be top 5 in getting a shot block this year. I can guarantee you. Because he goes to the basket hard, but sometimes he goes in when there's too many people underneath. He needs to be smart and just pull up for the mid-range or hit that floater. For some reason, he don't even go to his floaters as much as he used to. It's almost like Doc Rivers is back on the team turning not to use the floater no more. I don't know why. Remember the beginning of the year, that floater was deadly in the beginning of the year. For some reason, I don't know if it's his shooting coach, one of the coaches, he don't go to that floater as much as he used to. That kind of irritates me a little bit because a couple of times I saw he had it. He should have took it instead. He tried to drive and one time.
You want to blame Doc? Doc
he did. Am I wrong with didn't Doc say don't shoot the floater? Am I tripping?
He said that don't use it as much. He was using it. I guess he wanted to do a little bit more.
That's what some people tried to tell Curry. Like, people ain't want Curry jacking the three. Yeah, I mean, but that's he revolutionized the game. He could use that. Everybody star player should have a go-to shot. Jordan had to turn around. Huh?
He said Tobias is a perennial all-star. Yeah, all right.
Listen, man. Maxey need to go back to his floater and use that instead of attacking a basket with so many people under the rim. He gets his shot blocked a lot like that. He draws some fouls sometimes to get to the line. He's been getting respect for getting his foul call. Now he's an all-star. But he got to start going back to that floater more, man. It's going to increase his field goal percentage, and it's going to increase his effectiveness as a scorer. Scoring ain't, to me, it don't mean nothing if your field goal percentage ain't good. Unless your field goal percentage is around for a guard 47-ish, somewhere around there on the average, consistently 47, 48%. I think that's excellent for a guard. Maxey could do that if he continues to go with that floater because he shoots a lot of threes, so that threes is going to take your field goal percentage down a lot. So you got to, anytime you in the paint mid-range, actually, truth be told, your mid-range field goal, you want to be around 50. All your two-point shots, you want to be around 50% or more.
Yeah.
Because now your 3-pointers are going to bring it back down to about 40-something overall when it's all said and done with. Somewhere in the high 40s. So
what do you think about the Knicks and team? Then they better
the Knicks? Oh, the Knicks. Yeah, I mean, that Bogdanovich pickup, obviously. He ain't going to like this. He's not going to shoot like that every night. It's almost like Buddy Hield. And I told y'all, remember when we was getting
that was
gassed
one night, though. That was one game.
I know, but I just said, all I said was this is not going to be every night. I'm not saying he trash. I like Buddy. I'm glad we got him. But I was just saying he was shooting 50% from three coming into the night for the Sixers. I said that ain't going to last. Yeah, I mean, he going to end up going back around to where he was shooting for the year, which is 40%, something like that.
Which is still really good.
Yeah, which is really, really good. And sometimes you know, to keep that average even, sometimes you're going to have one of them off nights. And that's what he had. But I think the Knicks do got a deep squad. I mean, they added to it a little bit. Who knows what's going to happen when Randall come back? I mean, are they a contender?
I say they are. I can't see why they're not. I mean, the way the Bucks are struggling, to me, I put them up there maybe number 2. They're good. Boston.
Why Bucks struggling all of a sudden? I thought they
Who's this?
The Bucks. Why the Bucks struggling all of a sudden?
Oh, they got a new coach and everything. They got to get everything.
Oh, okay. What's the coach that they got? Who they get? They got. What's the name?
You tell me. Try to implement a whole new offense in a team in the middle of the season. Try to do that and see how successful you are.
Basketball ain't that complicated, bro. Basketball ain't that complicated. Abdul, I know who it was. Abdul. I just wanted Tim to say it. I know exactly who their coach is.
Doc is a good coach. Speaking of which, can we talk about that little fireball yonder? JJ Redick, his podcast. He had a podcast over the weekend or last week sometime, and he had some unfavorable comments about Doc Rivers, saying that he needs to be more responsible or hold himself accountable. It's always everybody else's fault. Did you hear his comments?
No, you ain't. Well, we ain't talking about it. Why don't you send that to the John? I ain't hearing none of that.
Yeah. So JJ Redick gets on his I guess it's our horse talking about Doc Rivers. So he needs, because Doc was saying that he trying to say that it's not Doc's fault. It's always somebody else's fault. And so he had his son came to his defense. He said, I don't even got to defend my dad, but JJ, you had your best years, the years as an NBA player playing for my dad and everything. And then Pat Bev came out and was like, also dogging him, like, listen, you talking about him, but I said I was on that Rockets team that you was on that team that lost that 3-1 with Doc. Guess who was the starting shooting guard for Doc team that blew that 3-1 lead?
JJ
Redick. So he's literally coming at Doc Rivers about them losing the series and about him not being accountable. But he is the shooting guard. He was the shooting guard on that team. I was like, well, then that's what made me look at it. I was like, well, let me see what JJ Redick actually did in that 7-game series.
What did he do? What happened?
All right, so the games that they won, he had 17 points, 31 points, 18 points. He played well in the games that they won. The games that they lost, this game 2, 3 of 10, gave him 12 points. Game 5, when they lost 3 in a row, he gave him 9 points, 15 points, and 10 points in the closeout game. All the games that they lost, it was because he played poorly. So the same guy who's talking about Doc got to be accountable, but he don't want to hold himself accountable for the reason why they lost that 3-1 lead.
I will say this. You also had PG-13 kind of say the same thing. Now, he had a bad series, so everybody was kind of blaming him. But like you told me, now we had this conversation about a full playoff series, there are adjustments made by both teams. Mm-hmm. So if JJ is getting open, maybe the team said, all right, this we're going to defend JJ like this, and we're going to do this to the offense because this was working for him. Now, what did Doc do to counter that? Like, PG said his adjustment game ain't right. Now, and truth be told, they're not the first players to say that about Doc Rivers. So it's been a trickling of players hating on the boy Doc a little bit. JJ ain't by himself. So I'm interested to see what more players are going to come out and either maybe come to JJ defense or come to Doc defense, because obviously his son going to come to his defense. Yeah, I mean, so now you're saying
I'm glad you said that, because then I was like, I thought about Paul George. I said, well, what has Paul George done also? And then I realized he is just as bad as JJ Redick when it comes to playoff success. I remember that bubble, the whole bubble year. He struggled down the stretch as well. And then I said, well, then you know what? He played with 3 superstars before. It was him, and it was Carmelo, and it was Russell Westbrook and OKC. He stunk it up in that series too. They won 7 games and lost to Utah. And I realized he's had probably, to be a superstar, he had minimum success as a superstar in playoffs with Indiana, with OKC, and with the Clippers, with and without Doc Rivers.
He actually had good success with Indiana. He just ran LeBron James. Remember, they played against Miami Heat them like 2 or 3 years in a row, and got knocked out by LeBron D. Wade in them.
But he didn't play well. He didn't have dominance. It's games where he shot 18%, shot 23%, 20%. It's like multiple games within those series where he shot terribly.
So
it's always somebody else's fault for the Stars not shooting. It's basketball.
So, I mean, I hear you, but is this not so as much as you can say that about PG, as much as you can look at these other boys, JJ, right? You can say the same thing about Doc Rivers. He has a pattern of losing leads in series. So that's not, at a certain point, it's not coincidental no more. Like, I know you want to put your cape on for Doc, black man, the whole 9 positive people. I know you want to do this. I know you want to do this, but listen, bro. He has lost consecutive leads.
You gotta if you go deep into it, if you actually see how they lost, you're saying,
yeah. Do we see how they? I mean, you just look at the stats, but tell me, have you watched the game? Like, did we see? See, I can't speak on it too much because I don't remember the games. Sometimes you got to watch the game to see how the other team countered what they were doing well, and did Doc make these adjustments? We talk about that all the time, about adjusting and leaving people in too long, taking people out too early. He possibly could have had somebody hot and took him out just to save face with this boy, like he used to have your boy PJ Tucker in there all the time, playing too many valuable minutes. He would pull like how he ain't like the young players, and the young players was cooking, but he'd take them out for the veteran. It's stuff like that. I don't know. I'm looking at some comments here. Let me go to the comment section. Oh man, where'd I go? I lost. I hate this thing. It ain't working. I can't go back up. It said, oh, there you go. SB Cole said Rondo said they were ignoring his adjustments in Boston. Now, so is Rondo saying they ignore his adjustments and they won because his adjustments was trash? Is that somebody finish that comment, SB? Is that what he's saying? Are they saying that Rondo is saying that Doc adjustments was sus? So instead of going with his adjustments, we just did what we did despite of his foolishness and won the chip. Is that what we saying here?
He got to 2 NBA championships. Lost one. He lost his big man and they lost one. They was about to win 2. Now he said they said that Bev said the only mistake Doc made was not starting Crawford over JJ. I mean, I get that, but then Crawford was a known like a prolific sixth man of the year. So now you're asking him to take him out the role that he's most familiar with and say, okay, we're going to make you the starting shooting guard. I don't know if is that what you want to do?
So SB Cole, this is my point. So as much as you saying people capable for Doc, then you got Rondo saying, yeah, he said drop would drop some play, some plan, and Rondo would call something else and they would win. So this is what I'm saying. Like, Doc track record ain't looking too good, bro. And again, now it ain't looking good. I understand you trying to get him out and say, well, he just got there, but you have two of the top. Where you put Dame at? Is Dame still in the top 10? You know Giannis in the top 10. So you might have two of the top 10, top 12 players in the game, and all of a sudden you like 2-8. What's his record now? Like they falling fast.
First of all,
basketball ain't that complicated.
It is because the Bucks started out with the easiest schedule. The first half, they had
the Bucks. They got Giannis in the ball.
What I'm saying is they had the easiest schedule. Now, over the last 2-3 weeks, their schedule completely shifted. So now they're getting to the toughest part of their schedule. So to sit there and be like, oh, they were doing so well early on. Yeah, because they were playing cupcake.
Okay, here we go. K Sharp 12 said Rasheed Wallace said the same thing Rondo said. This is what I'm saying. So you got a number of players calling Doc credibility into question. Oh, is it NBA players that coach that played for him? And now you throwing all out to the wind. So you got JJ Redick, Rondo, Rasheed Wallace, PG-13. I know it's more. It's more.
It's always going to be people who's going to be for and against. What I'm saying is I'm not putting it all on the coach. Not when the players is out there playing. You just said basketball is easy. The players supposed to make plays. You pretty much just supposed to put them in positions to win, but they got to go out there and make them decisions.
Yeah, you can also take them out of position by calling dumb stuff too.
I don't see them doing that. What I see the players making excuses. PJ tells them I'm having a neighbor's breakdown in the middle of a pandemic, like everybody else wasn't going to do stuff.
Facts. Thank you. Who said that? Charlie M. Thank you for that. What'd he say? His computer. What'd he say? He said the Bucks. He said the Bucks. There you go. X-Men. The Bucks lost to Memphis with a G League team before the All-Star break. Stop capping. They did. I forgot. Memphis don't got nobody on their team. Everybody hurt, including Ja. Everybody hurt. And that's what I'm saying. Nah, man.
Doc said
you got Giannis, Dame, Middleton, Lopez. I don't want to hear it. I do agree with that. I do agree. Which regard, Doc ain't making no case for himself with what he's doing with Milwaukee so far. They should have kept the coach that they had. He ain't making no case for himself. As a matter of fact, if Milwaukee falls apart and they don't go at least to the Eastern Conference Finals, Doc has a very strong chance of tarnishing his legacy greatly with this whole fiasco.
Why? When he literally, if you come in the middle of the season and you don't have success right away, it's his fault.
Tim, you got. I could go coach that team. You got Dame, Giannis, Lopez. You got Middleton. They all playing. If you don't get that team in position to go to the Eastern Conference Final, that's a complete collapse, bro. Come on, man. You caping hard. You caping hard, bro. You caping hard.
I believe in Doc. I do. I think he's a good coach. I just think he needs to get the team got to come together.
Oh, SB Cole said Bucks lost to the Heat by 30 without Jimmy, lost to the Trailblazers and Grizzly with a bunch of two-way. I didn't know all that. I know about the Memphis game. Come on, bro. Come on, man. Stop. Come on, man. This is crazy. Doc is trash, bro. I'm not capable for Doc. It's too many NBA players, certified ballers that's coming out and saying stuff about Doc.
So now he's trash.
He borderline. They said he lost to the Jazz as well. What y'all think about that? Enough about trash Doc. We're going to see. That's going to play itself out. We're going to have time to address that throughout the rest of the year because I'm telling you, if they don't get to the Eastern Conference Finals, that's a colossal collapse because they fired their coach, hired Doc with the intent of saying this coach can't take us to the next level. So they're saying Doc could take us to the next level. Doc himself takes the job because he thinks he could take them to the next level. So don't give me that, he came in the middle of the season. No. That's his responsibility. He decided to come in the middle of the season. They fired that coach because that coach had him the number 2 seed, and they thought he couldn't get him no higher than that. So that's why they brought Doc in. So we'll see. We're going to find out by the end of the year. What y'all think about the dunk contest? The dunk contest, they got to do something different, man. They got to get bulls in there. Jaylen Brown is not a dunker like that. Like his dunks was whack. He might have had one of the whack dunk contest dunks of all time. The two white boys probably was the most creative. McClung and the boy with the long hair. You gotta get dudes in there who are creative, who first of all athletes. First of all, you need an athlete. Before you need anything else, you gotta have bunnies. Because even if he's not the most creative dunker, watching him soar through the air is spectacular in itself. This is why I was kind of mad at LeBron. I know we talked about this and everybody was like, LeBron ain't that creative, it's that and the third. LeBron head was like this at the rim. He had a chance. LeBron probably head could have been like this here at the rim. When you see somebody flying through the air like that, you don't have to be all that creative. Even Vince Carter, if you look at Vince Carter dunks, his dunks was textbook dunks. They was dunks that would just, he was up so high and then he could finish at the rim so nice. It was like, oh, that was crazy. Like the one he just put it between his legs. He jumped up, put it between his legs, huffed it. And then the other one, he put his arm in the rim.
Put his arm in the joint like, ew.
That was nasty. But that wasn't like mind-blowing creativity. Like I seen people do some, even Iguodala, truth be told, he should have won the dunk contest he was in. Iguodala did some incredible dunk. That one he dunked behind, when he came behind the court, he had AI throw it off like the side of the backboard and caught it. That joint was incredible.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
They need to get a freak jumping athlete, even like Gary Payton Jr. I'm surprised he ain't never been in a dunk contest. That he got bunnies. He hopping out the building. That's what you need first. And then you need a bull who can add a little bit of creativity in the mixture as well. Because I give McClung credit. McClung got bunnies. That white bull he got hops. Because when he jumped over Shaq, he didn't touch him. The first white boy had to put his hand on Shaq back. McClung just flat out cleared him with his head down. Then he did the dunk with threw it up and caught it to himself. Like that's the stuff you got to do because so many dunks have been done before. So they just got to get somebody with some nasty athleticism, and then what do you say? Make them pay 87. Have you seen LeBron high school slam dunk contest week? You should see why he don't do an NBA. LeBron, I seen that, John. Listen, watching LeBron soar through the air is at least a 45. Now, how he finishes is going to give him the 50. That dude was jumping like a kangaroo. He still jumped. You know he was jumping crazy with his young boy because he's still jumping now. Do you know when he was 22, 23, him soaring through the air? Come on, man. Now, bro, y'all got to be kidding me. There's no way in the world I wouldn't have wanted to see LeBron in a dunk contest. I don't care if he did 3-4 basic dunks. Him jumping, just soaring would have been impressive enough. He was the best athlete the NBA probably has ever seen.
He's 39 now, so he can't do those things.
Nah, he done now. I'm just saying.
Well, how do you fix it?
I'm not talking about now. You got to give you got to get athletes. You got to make sure everybody in there got to have at least a 44-inch vertical. Got to have bull with verts. You can't have no dude. Jaylen Brown vertical is probably in the 30s. You got to have somebody touching next to a 40. I think Gary Payton Jr. vertical is probably near 40. He hopping out the building. That's what you need. There's no star power in the dunk contest. You do need some star power too. I agree with that, Charlie. That's what made the Sabrina and Steph John SB Cole. He said it was the only good thing at the All-Star. I actually think somebody brought it up. I think it was Reggie Miller and was saying how Steph and Dame Lillard should shoot it out. I think they should do a 1v1 in the 3-point contest, and I agree with that. You put them two in a 1v1 3, that's must-see TV. And I want 3 rounds. I don't want 1 round like him and Sabrina. That was kind of decent. But I want 3 rounds of Steph and Dame heavyweight bout going at it. And some of the threes need to be some of them deep joints. Not the one. I know they had the one little green one that was like, nah, you need to have a whole rack back almost near the half court. A whole rack. That's what I want to see. Because then we're not going to decide not only who's the best 3-point shooter, but who's the best deep 3-point shooter in the league. That's what you need. I'm telling you right now. Telling you.
All right, we're gonna wrap this thing up. It was fun. I wanted to come on here, even though Wayne didn't come because his man Tobias played us again as usual. But Nick Nurse still has to win some games too. He's an elite coach. I don't think he got any criticism so far this year. Everybody can like, well, because of injuries. But that's the part of you as a coach. You got to coach some of the games that we play. You got to win. You got to win them. Not all of them, but you have to win some games.
So that applies to Nick Nurse, but don't apply to Doc Rivers. Is that what you're saying?
Doc's been with his. I mean, Nick Nurse been with his team all year long, including at training camp.
Bruh. So
Doc still has to win games. I'm saying
okay.
Doc he has to win games. He has to be successful. He has a good run in the playoffs. But Nick Nurse, he's not getting criticized. There's no criticism going on with him. And
hold on. I hear you with the Nick Nurse thing. We talking about you don't think Curry and Dame that 3-point contest? I agree. Steph Curry is the all-time shooting GOAT right now. He don't really got nothing to prove, but it's still an exciting watch. To watch Dame and Curry, I would put Dame, Curry, and Trae Young. That's all I want. I didn't want nobody else. Dame, Curry, and Trae Young against the best 3 WNBA shooters. The chick, maybe the white girl that come out, Caitlyn Jenner, whatever her name is, put her in the joint. Caitlyn, put her in the joint. Put her in the joint.
Caitlin Clark.
There you go. You put her in the joint. The chick Sabrina, who he just beat, and somebody else, and you let them three do the dang thing. That'd be crazy. That's what he needs to start. Somebody needs to start thinking. I don't know who in these think rooms. They need to get me up in that joint. I'm telling you right now, I had an all-star game popping. Anybody, if some corny boy came to me, Jaylen Brown came to me like, yo, I want to be a dunk contest. I line him up with, them joints they use to test your height, the little things in NFL combine jump up. I said, if you can't touch that joint to give you a vertical 40-inch, you're not in it. I'm not doing nobody, but if you 6'10 with a 30-something, like a 36, I'll let you rock. If you under 6'10 and your vert ain't 40, you're not in a dunk contest. Nope, I'm not trying to hear it. What about Jalen Carter going at 49ers players' kids? I didn't hear about that. Jalen Carter's going up to 49ers players' kids?
No, first of all, the dude's a liar. What happened was Jalen Carter last week, he got into it with the remember everybody was teasing the 49ers players when they lost the NFL. And one of the Bulls, the offensive lineman for the 49ers, kind of blamed he was a kind of an ignorant dude. So I forget who one of the players from the 49ers missed the block. One of the reasons why they got the field goal was tipped.
Okay.
And then the ball was like, well, if everybody played their lanes, and then he came at one of his own players, and then they do apologize. Then Jalen Carter jumped in like, yeah, he's always coming after people. He talked about my friend that died in a car accident. Remember, he was in a car accident where
one
of his friends, from that school they went to, Georgia. And then the boy was like, then he come out and say, well, he talked about my kids and everything. He didn't talk about his kids, but he tried to say that's the reason why he talked about his dead friends. So it was a bunch of nonsense.
Slow-mo bias, did you cap it? Hold up, Tim. I will say I give Tim does his stats is suspect, but he know all about this gossip stuff and all this into the black Twitter and all that. Tim deep into that stuff. I'm telling you now. I trust Tim's storytelling on this. I trust his research.
I'm telling you, this is what happened.
Not so much, but I trust him on
my
that.
My stats be even better than the stories.
Okay. Ask the comment section that. But
we'll be right back tomorrow. This will be a good game. We play the Cleveland Cavaliers. It's a home game, so
something else happened real quick. You're right, we're back tomorrow, but I might not be back. But check this out. What happened? Did y'all see that Scottie Pippen, Horace Grant, and Luke Longley is going on tour, like to kind of like dismiss a lot of the debunk a lot of the final show. What was the name of the Jordan John? The Final Call or something? The Last Dance. They going to debunk the Last Dance. Did y'all hear about that comment section? What y'all think about Scottie Pippen and I'm going on tour to debunk the Mike propaganda? And do you think it was propaganda? I don't know. I mean, is it certified? Did you appreciate the Last Dance? Did you think it was a double down enshrining for Mike being a GOAT? Or do you think it was just a good documentary? Like what y'all think about it?
I don't know. What it came down to was they was doing a documentary about the Bulls in the 90s, and it came out to be a propaganda film solely on Michael Jordan. So now they're a little salty, and so now they're trying to respond. I just hope they take people's cell phones and their little thing, because after they do one show, it's going to be on the internet. So in order for them to get paid, you got to take their cell phones when you go into that auditorium. So it could be fresh.
True. They need to do it. They need to do it. I think they probably be best served doing their own documentary.
That's what they do, a documentary, yeah.
Like going around on tour thing, like you said. I mean, I guess that's cool, but I think if they got enough resources to put their documentary together and say, "Yo, look,
this might be a money grab too, though."
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I guess people will probably pay to see it. Charlie M said, "I love it. They don't have nothing else going on." Abdul said they need to sit down. Slow-mo bias. From Jalen posted his kids on IG, and the NFL got involved. That's why his playoff time failed. Hold up, Tim. You ain't had this information. He said Jalen posted his kids on the gram.
So the NFL got involved. Like, okay, we're not gonna play you no more. What kind of nonsense is that?
Did a slow-mo bias? Do we have confirmation? Is this documented somewhere? Does anybody have a screenshot and him posting his kids on IG? Is this confirmed, or we just talking? Is this storytelling time? Like, we got to get to the bottom. We all about fact-based information here on the podcast, except Wayne when he throwing out random stats, and that's why we got to fact check them. But we all normally about fact-based information. So what's going on? Is this fact-based? Can you slow-mo bias? Can you confirm this or no? TMZ Tim knows everything. SB Cole, that's your new name, Tim. They call you TMZ Tim. I actually like that. TMZ Tim is on the case with this guy's stuff, bro. And Michael D'Angelo All-Star said MJ had a 48-inch vertical. He's 6'6". Boy had a 48-inch vertical. He's 7'1", and bench press more than Shaq. MJ wouldn't be as great if he played against Wilt. Why you making that comment? You talking about like the All-Star game and the dunk contest and stuff? Is that? I mean, I maybe talking about the film, how Jordan kind of promoted itself. I mean, through the film, Jordan did say he wouldn't have been, it's great without pimping and all that, but it was more of a TMZ Tim is TMZ Tim is a keeper. Mike did. I mean, it was a lot of self-promotion for that last dance. It was. Dude posted the picture. Slow-mo bias is doubling down. Slow-mo bias, when we come back next time, because we about to end this drawing, but I need you to confirm 100%. He's saying 100%. We got something you can send. We still got our Facebook page, or they
post it on Twitter. If it's true, post it on our Twitter page. We be looking at it every day. Wow.
Post it on our Twitter page, Slow-mo bias. If you get confirmation that he posted this man kids, then TMZ Tim gonna have to walk a lot of that back and make sure he get his fact checking good next time.
Like, comment, and subscribe. Tomorrow we're gonna talk about can Iverson average 40 points in the NBA. We're gonna talk about that tomorrow. Like, comment, subscribe.
You're gonna make me come to the show. I see what you're trying to do. You think you slick. Deuces.
Jordan Poole got benched today. He's officially on the bench.
He did. Wow. He need